and welcome everybody out there in Twitch and D&D land. I hope you're all having a fantastic Sunday. For those of you who are celebrating Valentine's Day with your significant others, your sig figs, whatever you want to call them, I hope you have a fantastic time. I hope it's very enjoyable. All of you get to relax, breathe a little bit, do something romantic. Hopefully this is not the only fucking day out of the year you do something romantic. Don't be a jerk off. Treat them right throughout the year. And for those of us who aren't celebrating, candy's on sale tomorrow. So, outside of that, if you are interested in watching our games or participating in our games, you can check us out at twitch.tv/ProdiumJoey. We do have open slots available. Reach out to me and let me know if you want to join in on any of them. And if you are watching on the YouTube channel, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So, Kuma, what happened last session?
Last session, we continued our adventures in Darktow of figuring out where the pirate ship of Dora's enemy was. We ended up searching around using a boat we borrowed from other pirates for a hefty amount of gold that Jimmy offered, and looking for Hendrix. You say bot. And we ended up finding them up in a cove up north around Darktow. The cove had several magical traps and protections in it that allowed it to remain hidden, including an illusion over it and an alarm spell that had been permanently cast for a significantly long time. We ended up getting around the alarm spell thanks to Mary touching it with the anti-magic collar, where it just plopped into the water silently. As we got closer to the boat to board it, we ended up making a little bit of noise as we boarded, but due to some quick thinking on Mary's half of casting silence, no one was alerted right away. The only person who could that was staying next to a bell was quickly dispatched with 3 arrows to the chest, which then Dorzin spared the dying on because we weren't really supposed to kill them. We fought our way down below, incapacitating pirates as we go, and eventually at the bottom found a bunch of cages with 3 different people inside of them. The cages having a unique property of making those people invisible. So on a cursory inspection, you wouldn't realize someone's there if they were being quiet or unconscious. And that's where we left off.
So, up 2 floors above where the captive individuals are, Dorzin, you just unleashed a fiery inferno from Pyre Mall, incinerating those pirates in this crew, in this group, as they were all entangled in a large amount of webbing. You all look around at the inside of the cabinet as there are fire marks that are beginning to spread a little bit. Luckily, Silverin, you have a very high passive and you smell the smell of smoke on a ship made of wood. While you still... Or wait, Mary or Silverin has control water out right now? One of you two does.
I don't have it active, but I could do that quickly, so...
That's easy.
I think.
Yeah.
I believe I
Silverin
have
is still in wild shape or shape change.
Well, if they already had it, they can still control it while in wild shape
okay.
form. Yeah.
Right.
Perks of Druid. So yes, since you already have it, I assume you would want to splash enough water in here to extinguish fires.
Yeah. Although, if I remember, I was the one who discovered the cage of slaves.
You have a very high passive. You smell burning wood.
One moment, please. Someone's gonna run up the stairs,
All right.
past the fire, and just through the portholes, like have the water shoot through and get out this fire.
As you run up here, you actually look at Dorzin standing between the flames, wielding Pyre Maul, and there's definitely a minor shift in his appearance. He looks a little more ghostly.
Someone's gonna make sure he splashes Dorzen in the face with water as he's putting out the fires. Hey, this is a boat made of wood. Be careful with the fire. And then he walks back down to the prisoners after.
Doris is gonna try to find Hendrix's quarters.
Okay. You know your way around boats very well. The captain's quarters are usually kept on the top floor for sailors, but for pirates, it's usually among the riffraff of the general crew. They just get their own sectioned off area. It makes them more defensible for infiltrations and, easier to maintain them. So you go down one more floor and you see this large recreational room with a lot of hanging hammocks, lots of supplies tied up to walls. And then you get downstairs. Mary, you see the 3 cages, and you have probably a good minute before anybody gets here. What would you like to do?
I don't remember exactly what I was doing when I left off last, but
Investigating.
Because Silverman dispelled it, right? So I could see the prisoners inside.
Yes.
Right. I'm just gonna go up to them and hello there.
The one individual kind of flinches when they see you, as you do currently still look like a pirate with disguise self.
That's right. Don't worry, this is just yeah, don't worry about this. We're here to save you. So you can relax a little bit.
The key is on Hendrix. Keeps it on himself. I don't know how. Do you know where he is? Can you get me out of here?
We're gonna work on that. We know where he is right now, but do you know if that key does it have any sort of like magical properties or anything?
I have no idea. I for some reason nobody really looked at us or heard us while we were in these, even for like naval inspections. It's odd. And the individual you were talking to is an Earth Genasi. Fairly young, early 20s. Definitely a little haggard in appearance right now. I wouldn't describe them as malnourished. They definitely look early in this entrapment. And in the other cages further back beyond them, you see that there is a purple and blue furred furbolg. One of the eyes has what appears to be a purplish looking hue glowing out of it, and the other eye looks completely white. And in the third one, there appears to be a fairly sizable looking tiefling. A little taller, little broader in shoulders, blue skin, but out of everybody down here, they look very angry.
All right. Okay, everyone. So just hang on a minute. We'll get you out of there. One thing I'd like you all to know is that we'd like your help after we free you. So please don't just take off or anything.
Yes, anything. Yes, please just let us free.
All right. I'm gonna start going over the cage and looking for any sort of traps. I think I did use detect magic on them last time.
Yes, and the illusionary magic was the protective nature of what was happening here. There is no latent magic currently still accessible on them.
Right.
The illusionary magic was all they really had. I mean, this crew had access to powerful means of evading suspicion, but they didn't seem to have... Oh, wait. No, you have detect magic down here. There are Um, there's glyphs down here. Roll me an Arcana check.
Mm-hmm.
You've come across these in a number of situations, particularly in the Empire, as they really like to use these for protection. These are glyphs of warding. It's not on the cages; it's actually on the inside of the ship. And the way they are angled is to destroy the ship if something happens.
Okay. And you have to be within, is it 10 feet or something to trigger those?
I believe so. None of the
Alright.
cages are within 10 feet of it, but
No.
yeah.
Okay, so I'll be right back, I say to the guys. Don't go anywhere. And because of course that's what you have to say when they're in cages. And I go up to the rest of the group.
Alrighty. You're running up as Silverin is finally coming back down and Dorzen is like walking behind him.
Right. Okay, guys. So just hang on a second. I found out there are some like glyphs of warding down there. They seem to be sort of set up so that the ship will sink if they're triggered. You
need me to dispel them.
Well, if you'd be so kind, that would be helpful.
All right, then.
So the two of you are forced to work together since you have the detect magic that can see them, and Silverin has the dispel magic to get rid of them. There is a total of 6. Do you have 6 spell slots of 3rd level or higher still, Silverin?
Let's see, let me count. Yeah.
Okay. Are you willing to expand all of them?
Wait, you said what level or higher?
3rd.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm willing to expend what's necessary, but can I get more than one glyph with if I just aim the dispel magic the right way?
Dispel magic is not an AoE, unfortunately.
Oh, I kept thinking it was.
It's there is a magical item that I think this group got rid of a long time ago. That would have been
Used
great.
it in the boss fight.
Oh yeah.
But-
Bomb.
Fucked
Before
over Jimmy pretty hard.
Yeah, Mary.
Before you start like using all your magic to do this, Silverin, maybe we could sort of just mark them so that people don't go near them. Because if those, what was the name again? I don't quite recall the name of those 2 other henchmen, the first mate and this bulbous fellow that I was described. If they come here, we might need to still be ready for a bit of a battle.
Well, I mean, if they do come here, I think that with the combined efforts of the cavalry here, as well as our friendly neighborhood lizard, I think they would have it handled, more or less. And if not, then I'm sure Willie's friend up there, that he says silent so you can hear the squawks of the rock, might be enough.
All right. Well, let me just. So the glyph of warding, they can't be triggered by, say, shooting an arrow on them, right?
It depends what the contingency is. Glyph of wardings. You have enough experience with breaking into places you shouldn't be, that you would be aware that they have different triggering effects. Sometimes it's like when this book is open. Sometimes it's when somebody steps within range, or when somebody casts a spell, or when somebody says a specific word. Then they trigger.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, no, I'm just gonna point it specifically out to Silverin where they are, though. And while he's working on that, I'm gonna start unlocking the cages.
Roll me thieves' tools 3 times.
All right.
Yeah, and should I just take away the 6 spell slots that you mentioned?
Yes, please.
Like glyphs couldn't be put on things that move, like a ship.
Dorson, can you give me some of your guidance?
Guidance.
Thanks.
Just smacks you on your shoulder.
Gotta ask, you know. So,
Yeah. The DC on all of these was 20. Bink, bink, bink.
that's the minimum moment.
The one person's like, oh, you really should just get the key. Bink, and bink. These are really simple locks to you.
I say to him, keys are overrated.
As soon as you open it, the Furbolg and the Genasi walk out from there, and they begin stretching. That Furbolg is roughly about 8 feet tall now that they're stretching upwards. And then they kind of like slouch downwards a little bit.
All right, so that's done. Be careful to don't. Well, we have some spells going off that he's taking care of right now, so just stay put for a moment.
The tiefling looks at all of you. Can I have a weapon, please?
Got any preferences?
No.
Hand him scimitar. Not magical.
All right. Ding. Flourishes it. I mean, they know what they're doing. Where's
All right.
Hendrix?
We're getting to that because I see you also want revenge on him, right? So our friend over there, he wants very much revenge, also probably for the same thing, being captured and sold into slavery and all that. But we need to be a little bit smart about it. We can't just go rushing up to Hendrix and start stabbing him, because then we'd be in trouble with the Plank King.
Currently, there's some diplomatic stuff going on because of parley. After that, though, I assume stabbing is free game.
Mm-hmm. We're trying to set him up basically, so that he's
They're
free to
delivering
stab.
proof.
The tiefling looks at you, Dorzin, after hearing that, you experienced the same thing. I want his tongue.
Well, it depends on whether or not it's paste or ash afterwards.
You're not one of those holier-than-thou idiots, are you?
No, I just need him to be shown for the whiny worm he is before I end him.
So yeah.
The angel and devil agree on something.
Well, he has to be careful, Oh no.
Hey, Jero, so for the 3 prisoners and stuff, you said do they look injured at all? Because I know you mentioned the kobold had, not kobold, Furbolg had like swelling or a purple tint.
He had a purple eye that had a little bit of a hue to it, and a completely white eye. But
so it wasn't.
Neither of them look hurt.
Okay, I thought you were describing him like he got like beaten up and stuff, and that's.
Oh no, I meant like the actual eye, not the skin around.
Okay. So none of them look hurt then.
The tiefling certainly has a lot of wounds across their body, but most of them seem to have been seared and cauterized. That's the word.
So someone would go ahead and give him just a level 1 cure wounds.
Right.
Just might as well.
When you touch him, he like flinches and swings the weapon, but stops a little bit. Just
so, can we have your names? I'm Amaryllis.
the Genasi speaks up. Thud. Yeah, I might as well type it out. You guys are just gonna ask. Genasi, Thud, Tiefling, shared, Beerbolg, Groveson. And when the Furbolg speaks, they, my name's, Groveson.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet y'all.
He looks over at you, Kuma, and just blinks.
But
Nice to meet you too.
Kuma's generally confused, like, why do you blink at me?
But yeah. So, you've all successfully acquired the ship, leaving behind exactly 2 living people, other than the people who were captured. How long does your summon demon last, Willie?
An hour, but if it doesn't have anything to attack, it starts to go crazy.
You're gonna have to fight your demon.
Yeah, you gotta fight your demons.
No, we gotta fight Willie's demon.
If I try to like drop concentration on it, it'll last for like 6 rounds. Last for a minute.
I'm
or so.
fairly certain this party can fuck up your demon.
You know, that we
No, but we would just push Willie out. It's like, fight your own demon, Willie.
Willie's gonna try to pet the rock and calm it down.
Okay, roll
Your channel just got demonetized.
Yeah. Yeah. Pet the rock.
Demonetized.
Anyways, you all have successfully captured the ship. What would you all like to do?
I would like to go to one of the survivors and start interrogating him. And I'll use a diplomat to charm him.
Are you choosing the one that Dorzen stabilized who was unconscious, or are you choosing the one that Kuma emasculated?
I'll go with the one who's not unconscious for now.
Emasculated. Cool.
Right.
You walk over and they're just like sitting there. The webs have been dispelled and their arms are just crossed in front of them.
Mm-hmm. Hello there. So you seem to be in a bit of a pinch right now. And I was hoping maybe to help you get out of that pinch if you also, help us a little bit.
What do you mean?
Well, we're very aware right now that Hendrix has been dealing with slave trade.
What? No, that's terrible.
Don't even start. And this is going to be exposed very soon to the Plank King as well, which means that anyone who was involved in this business will, take their share of the consequences of that. However, if you help us out, we might be able to help you out in return. You can just go on your way at some point after we're finished with you, of course. But right now, we need to know when is the first mate and Hendrickson expected back, including this bulbous fellow.
Roll intimidation with advantage.
All right. Yeah, I don't have guidance there, but
29's pretty good. They're supposed to send bird out here to let us know they're on their way. We haven't seen it.
Okay. And what do you have? Do you have a kind of protocol for? Do you respond somehow to that bird?
We send it back.
Oh well, that's not gonna happen. Okay. And what can you tell me about the first mate and that bulbous fellow? What sort of capabilities do they have?
The one is a mage. Looks at all of you. I don't think like any of you are. They can move around quickly. They cast spells to control people, charm them.
This is the first mate you're talking about?
Yes.
Right. And the other?
He's muscle. Points over at Kuma. Kind of like him.
Well, the difference is that none of us are able to do any charms or anything like this. I say while charming him.
Yeah. Yes, I do not have charm person. I'm just a charming person.
Yeah. All right. So, and if this bird is not returned, is there a sort of course of operation you think they'd take?
He kind of looks down. If the bird doesn't return to them within the hour that they anticipate it returning, they plan on evacuating all evidence of what they were doing.
All right. Being the ship.
Yeah.
And everyone who was on board it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay, well, you've been very helpful so far, so just continue on that note, and...
I should probably, just for my own safety, warn you, don't move the ship. It's stationary.
Okay.
They told us if we try to leave the cove, it'll destroy itself.
Good to know. Okay, well... do any of you guys want to talk to him? I think I'm gonna have to go and take a little reconnaissance around the ship again.
Yeah, you might want to check for anything other than those things you found below.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna start ritually casting detect magic and start walking over the ship and just
Alrighty.
looking for any
So,
signs of more.
Before we get there, doors in. You made your way over to the captain's quarters. You found them down on that lowest level, and the tiefling seems to just be standing over on the side looking at you. You get over to the door, and it is, of course, locked. Doors in.
Dorson is going to go grab Mary because apparently this ship was rigged to blow, and I'm not stupid enough to think they didn't do that to his own room.
So, Mary, you want to, you get interrupted in the middle of your thing, and Sylvan, you walk by Dorson, who you know was heading towards the captain's quarters.
So, does that mean I have to start doing it again, or can I just give him the birdie and continue?
I mean, you could
casting it?
flip him off and say, deal with it yourself, but I mean, it's up to you.
I'll say just hang on a minute. That's exactly what I'm gonna do, and then I'll continue ritually casting.
Okay. So, 10 minutes go by. Ding. You go downstairs. The captain quarters, there's nothing magical about them. Well, there's magic coming from the inside, but not at the door.
All right. Well, while the spell is active, I'm just gonna take a tour around the ship and see if I can sort of find any more glyphs or any other magic slips. Right.
Roll an investigation, please.
Guidance.
Sure.
I'm not that good on investigation. So.
12. There's a little bit of magic on the sail, which is kind of interesting. Conjuration magic. There is magic beyond the door, but you'd have to look at it in the captain's quarters. to actually know what school. You just sense that there is magic within 30 feet in there. On the upper floor, like the one above where the cargo hole was, you walk around and there's a total of 4 glyphs here, at each corner against the wall of the ship. And that's it.
So 4 glyphs.
In the
total?
middle, and then on bottom is 6.
All right. Yeah, but those 6 are dispelled right now.
Yes, I'm just letting you know where their system was.
Yep. Huh. Okay, I'm just gonna let everyone know that there are 4 glyphs that potentially can explode or go off at some point.
Silverin, you got Mary confirmation that the door is not magical.
Can anyone get rid of those other 4?
Yeah.
Jimmy, can you help with that? Are you able to dispel stuff?
I mean, I could try. I can't really dispel things, so I've never done it.
I think you can banish a glyph of warding, really.
What?
I mean,
Willie can banish anything.
Can banish his sanity every night.
Yeah.
Can I roll an Arcana to know if Willie knows anything about glyphs? Because
Sure.
my understanding of glyphs is like actually high. 21, natural 20. Cool. You probably
They cannot move within more than 5 feet outside of where they were originally cast, which means this ship has to be stationary here with these glyphs active.
honestly, probably a big wave could move the ship 5 feet and get rid of that glyph. It's probably activated from using, the wheel and the stern and the sails. So if you just somebody controls water and moves the boat, all the glyphs will disappear.
Not going to set them off?
No, because they're triggered from
Not no, maybe. Because you don't know what the triggering effect is that was placed on them.
maybe, but the triggering effects on glyphs are usually very specific. If you make a generalized, you really can't make a generalized.
Well, it could be that since it seems to have been set up as sort of like an emergency thing to sink or scuttle the ship if things go south. So it would, I would assume it's probably triggered by some sort of phrase or word that they have to speak.
Maybe it's just triggered because the bird doesn't arrive in time. That could also be the triggering factor, especially if that was their plan. But I don't know. My intelligence is a 13.
Good intelligence. I'm gonna take out the anti-magic collar with an arrow again, and just fish it out of the small box and
Immediately mundane. Oh no, with
And
the
just-
arrow. The arrow is now mundane.
yeah, and just poke it up against the glyph.
So you walk towards the glyph?
Yeah.
Okay. As you get within 5 feet of the glyph, nothing happens.
That's what I thought.
Bink! The glyph's no longer active, but the moment you remove it, bink, it's active.
Ah, god damn it.
It's a temporary dispelling.
Well, if it was written into the wall, right?
Yeah.
And is that below the water level?
On this level, periodically, but not always. Depends on the tide.
All right.
Is Sylvan there too? Like just watching Mary do this, and she.
Sure.
Mary, I'm not as studied in arcane magics, but from what I do know about magic, if you were to make it mundane and then mess with the ward itself, as you, because I'm assuming the glyph of warding still needs like a like some sort of writing kind of component to it, kind of like a teleportation circle. Like it's
Let
an
me
actual
reread it.
glyph.
Let me reread it just to be sure, but I see where your head's at.
Just you inscribe a glyph.
Yeah, it needs diamond dust, but like
I mean,
we make
as
it.
you're looking that up.
Well,
I'll
yeah,
finish
there
Rice.
is diamond dust involved in the casting of the spell, so like if that was disturbed, I mean,
If you disturbed the runes itself in the glyph, wouldn't that make it inactive once you remove the arrow?
oh, wait a second. Pause. I'm sorry. I like where your head's thinking. That would work usually, but I forgot the duration is until dispelled. That collar dispels it. Even though it's temporary, it's dispelled. It's not a permanent magical thing. It is until dispelled. Sorry.
Oh, so I wasted 4 spell slots. Okay.
I mean,
6.
Sorry, I didn't.
yeah.
I didn't think about the collar until I sort of did, and you didn't either. So
You guys have
it's
one of
not-
the best magic items in the game.
Soren's just glaring at Mary as she explains that to him.
Well, you could have thought about it yourself, so why didn't you? Ha! And then I go up and start poking the other glyphs.
Did you guys want to know what triggered them?
Can you do that?
Yeah. Identify.
All right, you identify one of them.
Yeah.
These are set to trigger if anybody magically approaches within proximity of them. That is through means of teleportation.
I explain.
That was it. So if you guys would have tried Misty Stepping where any of these glyphs were, Dimension Dooring where any of these glyphs were, they would have exploded.
Honestly, that's kind
Really
of
likes
clever.
to do.
Identify works on more than just items.
It also works on mundane items.
Didn't Mary tell us that there was magic in the sails?
I don't know if she told
Ah.
you.
I didn't actually say that, but I was going to start going to have a closer look at it after dispelling the glyphs. So, while you're on like the identifying thing, Jimmy, there's something magic with the sails as well. I don't know exactly what. Some kind of conjuration.
Oh, okay. I'll go take a look. Come on, Ouch. And we start climbing up, and we'll do a ritual cast while they're doing whatever.
Okay.
On the ship.
So let's go back to Dorzen again. Mary told you about the door. What would you like to do?
I'm breaking it open.
Alrighty. With a very assertive swing, Pyramol crushes it downwards. And you look inside at a very lavish and nice looking room. There are large pelts with purple frills across them. There are dozens of royal looking pillows across the bed. There's a vanity mirror. There's this incredible armoire that seems to be just immaculately crafted. There's a chest that looks incredibly ornate, and has... What languages do you speak again?
Common, Thieves' Camp, Primordial, Celestial. That's it.
Okay. It has a lot of guttural-looking, jagged edges to the carvings on the inside of it. And the front appears to be the head of a bull. Yeah. This looks incredibly nice. Like, beautiful. And it also looks slightly similar to your previous captain's personal quarters.
Oh, this sumbitch.
He modeled it after that specifically.
Dorzen is going to approach the chest, give it a once-over to make sure there's nothing obviously gonna explode about it.
Roll me an investigation.
I would have told you that there was magic inside the room, remember?
Yeah, Mary did.
Okay.
Those markings kind of give you a creepy feeling. And that's... You've dealt with enough unknown things to know when caution should be warranted. This is an unknown thing that you need to be cautious about. Though there's no visible traps on it, there's hinges in the back, and the front of it, the bull's head appears to be the latch.
You said the tiefling was outside the room, right?
Yeah.
Hey, grab the one that unlocked the doors. Need her to look at this.
Do you not recognize it?
I recognize it. It has Matt.
They back up and head over to Mary, who's currently being grilled by Silverin. And just poking them. Your companion downstairs needs you for something.
Oh, okay. Well, I think we're all done here. Bing! Put the last glyph and put the collar back in the box.
I will say you will have to hold it against it for 6 seconds just for the sake of balancing,
right.
but yeah, like... It's not a nonchalant ting and walk away. That would be way too broken for a rogue.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, look magic items. Ding!
Just look at Silverin who's glaring and just shrug and take off after the other guy.
All right. You walk downstairs. Mary, what languages do you understand?
Dwarven, Elven, and Common.
Okay.
And Thieves' Cant.
You look at the box. There's a bit of Thieves' Cant that you recognize on that chest. And not to mention, this room looks beautiful. Like, those sheets are expensive as fuck, and those pillows as well. But, you know, other than that, there's a little bit of Thieves' Cant on it. But you only recognize it as something that you've never been associated with, but of course all thieves know the warning of. This marks this item as property of the Myriad.
Motherfucker!
All right. So that's interesting. I mean, you did say before that he had worked with them, so he probably got paid, right, or something. Somehow.
Wonder how he will take the fact that the entire sect on Tal'Dorei isn't eradicated.
Interesting. Did you find out what was magic inside here?
I gathered that the box was, right?
I mean, that would be your best estimate.
I believe it is the chest.
Well, I don't think I'm gonna start asking Silverin to dispel anything that might be on it, so...
Oh, really? Really? You don't need me to dispel anything else?
Right now. Sorry about that. I completely forgot about the collar. But yeah, anyway. I'll pick up the collar again and hold it against the chest.
Okay. Give me a wisdom save. Or, sorry, charisma save.
Thank God I asked for Mary.
And I'm going to use the session inspiration for that.
Alrighty.
21.
Be glad that you used that inspiration. You
Yeah.
touch it to the chest, and immediately you feel a frightful presence pulse over you, followed by a very deep and you kind of like recoil away from it. Bad. And not dispelled.
Hey, don't open the box. There's something inside the box. Bad juju from the box.
Well, this one, I might be good if I dispel it. If it's not, permanently dispelled with the collar.
Well, maybe it's a good thing that didn't get dispelled. I didn't get the sense that there's some kind of entity.
He looks at
who's-
you, Silverin. Sorry, the tiefling looks at you, Silverin. What languages do you speak?
Sylvan? Abyssal, beast speech, common, draconic,
Bing.
druidic.
Abyssal. It has abyssal writing all across it, detailing the tales of a being called the Prince of Darkness.
Oh, come on.
It is a warning / invite that anyone who wields the power in this chest and who picks it up may be blessed and cursed by Baphomet.
Wait, isn't that? Sorry.
Lord of Hell.
No,
No, that's not. No,
Oh.
that's Asmodeus. No, Baphomet's someone else, but I think I know out of character, but I don't know if.
roll a
Sylvan
religion
know in
check. Let's see if
character.
you know anything. Because you
Okay.
speak Abyssal, you have a chance.
All right. Religion.
Yes.
Nope.
What'd you
keep
get?
forgetting the split in
A
D&D.
9.
It's fair. I'm just one of the few people who really take the difference between the hells and the abyss very seriously, because it's a
Oh, yeah.
big.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
I mean,
I have all the
Dorzen-
history knowledge. not the
Dorzen,
game
you
knowledge.
speak Abyssal.
No, I don't.
No, it doesn't.
You kind of do. Let's take those shackles off.
No, let's not. Let's not.
my dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
Just
So-
ask a voice in your head.
I mean,
So-
I could
Just kinda-
you mean I could take the ring off and ask?
Pause. Silverin. As you kind of look at it and you get that beam of recognition in your eye, the tiefling kind of chuckles. So you recognize it?
I can read it.
Recognize what?
Ever heard of Baphomet?
If you are proficient in religion, you may roll. If you are not, you may not.
I'm
If you're a
jack of
bard?
all trades.
You may roll.
I grew up in
17.
Vasselheim.
That doesn't actually. They hide information in Vasselheim.
They do.
To be fair, Jimmy's the one guy who's like, hey, I want this knowledge, and he'll find it anyways.
Right, but if you're not proficient, you haven't researched enough to have an opportunity. That's the thing.
They preach the good gods, not the bad ones.
17. It sounds like something you heard before, but you can't place your finger on it.
It was something about either bathing or something hellish or something extra.
Not
playful or
hellish, because that would be from the hells. This is
Right.
written in abyssal, so it's from the abyss.
It is
It's demonic.
Baphomet, the Horned King, or the Prince of Beasts.
anything. Oh, so not Baphomet. Okay.
No. The tiefling takes a couple of steps forward and stands a little protectively next to the chest. This is a relic of his. What is inside of it is not meant for anybody to wield or touch. He looks at you, Mary. Based off of your reaction, it's still inside.
Well, yes, something is.
Then, I would like to ask that I be allowed to take this from you all.
Insight check.
Go for
Insight
it.
check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn it.
19 and 20 is high enough. They don't have malicious intent. They actually seem more scared of you all having this information.
Who are you exactly? So let me find his name again. Shared? Or shared? However.
Shred.
you pronounce it.
Or
Shred.
shared.
Oh.
Shared. Shred is a good way to pronounce it. Shared. Charade. Ah. I am no one to all of you, but I was given the job of finding this and taking it to a place it can't be used.
Sounds like someplace in Vasselheim. And I want to do an insight check to see his reaction when I say that.
Sure.
To kind of gauge if it's like...
We'll maintain insight. Make it easier. Instead of rolling with every sentence.
That's fair.
He has a distaste for Vasselheim. He's not hiding it. He definitely is not trying to hide his emotion that much. He's not trying to give you information, but he's trying to not... He views you all more as valuable assets and as if he owes you a debt than he views you as a threat. Not to say that he doesn't view you as not a threat, it's just he's treating you like this is not anything you should be worried about, in his mind.
Well, I don't really mind if you take it, so long as it doesn't come back to bite us in the ass at some point. Which my experience with the world is that everything comes to bite you in the ass.
Also, do not let the halfling that's around to know what that is.
Very well.
What exactly is in it?
You show up in the doorframe.
Like, what's in the box?
God damn.
It is a relic of the abyss. A crafted item hidden away for a long time and imbued with the presence of the Prince of Beasts.
Right. Well, that would probably be best by going back to the abyss then, right?
No!
Oh, okay.
You do not give them that power again. I had to steal it from them. I'm not about to let them take it back.
Well, what are you going to do with it?
I'll take it somewhere that they can't get.
What it sounds like, though, it sounds similar to what our friend there wields, except instead of being from some good entity, from an evil entity. Let's put it that way, Mary.
Oh, sure.
How does he react to hearing Dorzen has something like that?
He looks you over and then eyes lock on the hammer and looks inquisitively. Roll an insight, Dorzen.
My good stats.
Okay. He looks at it, but doesn't look at it with a sense of recognition. He just, curious. And he does kind of speak up. So you are one of those holier-than-thous.
Converted to deal with similar problems that I've come across. Believe it or not, it's not the first artifact of that war that I've had to deal with.
I mean, if you need to hide it somewhere where no one finds it, I'm pretty sure Willie could send it to some other plane that no one knows about.
That's not good enough, unfortunately.
Please don't show this box to Willie.
No. But you speak of him as if he is capable of sending people far away, maybe back.
Yeah.
I am not in a position to do this, but I would like to ask a favor if I may ask him to do that to me.
I mean, you
With
can ask him.
this.
If I might ask, where exactly is the destination? Or if that is to be private, which
What?
plane, if it's... Which plane of existence? Because I do not want to trade one threat for another.
That is a great question. Um. Sorry, I need to find this because he's not trying to not tell you things.
He's just trying to tell us in a way that doesn't...
No, he's going to tell you. I need to make sure I don't fuck this up.
Yeah, that's a good point, Jimmy.
Yeah, no, I'm aware of what I asked, but I realized that, so I was like, oh man, how should I phrase this in a way that I can still learn?
I mean, it's a box. It just needs to go through the postal service. We got Willie. He's a mailman.
Yeah.
Please show this to Willie, because he is... What? We're sending it to hell? Why-
Vligathos is where my destination is. Don't say anything out of character, Wyatt. I know.
Megathos?
That's metagamey shit. Don't.
Can I roll history or arcana for that?
No, you can roll religion.
All right. Ooh.
24. That's one of the layers of hell.
All right.
And now that you think about it, you don't know why you know that.
It must be something I read in probably that same book about Baphomet or whatever.
Or one of your smut books.
Yeah. It was on the back side of a page that had it was a illustration of a succubus on the other side. That was the main attraction, and then
The title of the book was 50 Shades of Megathos.
yeah. So, all right. Well, I suppose hell would be a good place to stash it. Some
Yes.
place.
The demons can't get into hell.
Aren't you afraid the devils might do something bad with it?
No. My lord won't do anything bad with this item. He will vault
is
it like the
your
others.
And your lord is no, not Baphomet, but can I ask?
My lord, the Morning Star.
Oh.
Wait, is that literally what I think it is?
I mean, none of you would have the possibility of this information, unfortunately.
Morning
Except
Star,
Willie!
Isn't that Saren Ray?
No.
No.
Willie is upstairs.
That's the Dawn Star, Mary.
Oh, right. Well, morning, dawn, it's the same thing, you know.
Oh,
There's a-
you.
What?
Morning.
I don't particularly like it, but Jared, quick question. Is it I'm not going to say common knowledge, but at a certain like point of education, is it clear about like devils and demons are different things and that they don't like each other?
You have proficiency in one of the language. That is correct.
Okay.
So you're proficient in religion, right? And you understand abyssal?
Actually, I'm not proficient in religion, but I do know Abyssal.
I'll give you a little bit of information. This is at least something you would know. Hell connects to the material world. There is a bridge between the material world and hell, and underneath hell, at certain point after you go down 9 layers, is the abyss. And hell is allowed to exist by the main pantheon in order to continuously fight back the never-ending hordes of the abyss. Because if it wasn't for hell, they would take over the material world like that.
Yeah, hell is the buffer.
Yes. Although those that work within the upper echelon of hell, you can presume are evil. Not all fiends are evil, though. Keep that in mind. Just those that work in the upper echelon of it are evil. There's a difference between a lawful evil and a chaotic, destructive force that only wants to destroy. And that's what they're continuously fighting against.
I don't like it, but I do know that in regards to demonic artifacts, hell is one of the safer places to put it. At least under someone who wouldn't abuse that sort of artifact. And you can say with 100% certainty your master is one of those that wouldn't abuse it.
He is one of the few people in hell who does not use deception, and he assured me.
Alright then. Well, I think the box should go with him then. That being said, we want to make sure that Hendrix pays for it, so during this diplomacy, would you mind testifying your case about what he did?
That is fine, but you do not let anyone else know about this box. The fewer people that know, the safer it can be.
Fair enough.
What box? Do you see
This
any
one
box
right
around
here.
He was being
Stressful week.
I can tell.
Okay, well, first order of business right now then, I suppose, is to get this ship out of here, maybe, or what we can do, I think, at least with this thing I have, is we could sort of set the ship free and let it just accidentally drift into Darktow. And, well, someone might discover it and see that it's been used for taking slaves and stuff.
Or we could just drive it in ourselves.
Mary.
Yeah?
Your eye is about as keen as my own. Can you help me find this Hendrix's ledger book?
Sure. It would probably be somewhere around here.
Even a slaver would keep track of his finances.
Yeah. He'd probably keep something like that on his person, though, don't you think?
No, that's something that would probably be at his desk here. And Soan's kind of looking around. He's not really proficient as Mary in this, but he's trying. Rock you
the dolphin might win. They fight in packs.
Dolphins are the wolves of the sea.
You're wanting me to assist with investigation, is that it?
Or like I would assist you with investigation since you're so reliable with your talent.
I don't have reliable talent on investigation, actually.
Yep.
Well, shit.
It's only if you're proficient.
Yep.
I miss Prissa. Right.
I mean, isn't she technically in everything because jack of all?
No.
Yeah, I guess Sylvan will attempt to investigate then.
Go for it. Are you being assisted, or are each of you rolling once?
Thorson cast guidance and I assist.
All right, there we go.
All right.
Roll your d4.
Oh.
19. You get over towards the nightstand that's kind of like anchored to the floor. And there is a little diary here. Just writings of their occurrences. Quickly skimming through, it does not specifically outline any particular details, just the whereabouts and locations of pickups that they were doing. However, in no outline or detail in this area does it tell you where the drop-offs are. Aside from that, you go over towards the armoire. Open it up. There's 3 different pirate outfits. One to be somebody who's, higher standing, probably a captain. One to look more like a crewman, very pointedly. And the last one looks a bit more formal pirate wear, so if that's a thing. And aside from that, inside the closet, there's a sailor's uniform from Port de Mali, a sailor's uniform from Palma Flora, a sailor's uniform from Stilben, several different mundane everyday outfits that somebody can kind of slip into. And well, Mary, you're proficient with the disguise kit.
Yeah.
This individual has a lot of disguises, a lot of them. However, underneath all of that, as you're kind of like filtering through, feeling around, there is a false bottom to this armoire. But you don't visibly easily see a way to open it.
Can I try to, figure out how it would be?
Roll me a Thieves' Tools check.
All right.
And Selen will assist. Or not.
With Thieves' Tools, you kind of have to be proficient, or the need for assistance needs to be there. Like, hey, there's a huge object, Kuma, and stuff
fair.
like that. But a dirty 20 is still pretty fucking good. You look at it, and it looks like the seam can open up, but when you jimmy your dagger in there, it does fit in, but there seems to have to be a mechanism somewhere that isn't visible to you to force it upwards, which means, there's a button somewhere. You look at the armoire, and you twist the knob, and...
All right. So, I open the...
They were dealing with a lesser rogue that would have been so hard to figure out, but you're like, hey, look, another one.
Another one.
Another one now, and another one now.
You open it up, and you see several bags of jingly items.
Yoink.
There's a total of 6 bags, one of which has sewn on it crew budget. The next one, upkeep of vessel. The next one is payoffs. And the 4th one is not labeled.
Huh.
I don't believe
Alright.
he's going to need the crew budget one anymore.
No. I'm just gonna, like a rough estimate, how much money is in total?
The crew budget one has about 140 gold inside of it. The upkeep one has about 400 gold inside of it. The payoff one has 200 gold inside of it, and the last one has 700 platinum pieces.
I'll give the payoff pouch. I'll take it out and go give it to the Ganassi.
Okay.
Earth Ganassi. So I figured this should be somewhat of a compensation for you and What was the name again?
For you and Groveson.
Groveson. That's
Oh,
the
hi. Hello there.
Hello. Yeah. Just as a start to sort of get your stuff back in order somewhat. We still need your help, though.
Thank you. Yes, of course we'll do anything you want. And he looks in the sack and like ties it over to their side, and Grosson like nods like.
Yeah, make sure you don't spend it all in one place. That's for your travel expenses for your home, wherever it is.
How could anybody ever spend this much gold?
You'd be surprised.
There's a lot of rich assholes out there.
So, where are you from, actually?
Oh, I'm from Brunbog in Tal'Dorei.
Oh, okay.
I'm from Marquette.
All
Hey,
right.
another Marquise.
Marquette just has that accent now.
Yeah. Well, only the Hicks of Marquette have that accent.
Well, I suppose we might be actually going to Tal'Dorei in not too long.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. I mean, if you don't mind, I've had my fair share of being on boats for a while. I think I want to go back to shore. Yeah, I can go with you over to Tal'Dorei. It ain't no problem for me.
We'll just see how it goes.
A quick question though is something So how did the three of you, just them as well as the tiefling, end up in that cage exactly?
The Genasi will speak up. Well, they heard about me, having some latent magic, helping out my family, and took me in at night while I was sleeping. They heard about me and my potency for reading the stars. I was just heading on over here to Tal'Dorei. I was trying to get over to that what's it called? Westrin. Apparently they have a huge observatory that they want me to take a look at, but on the travels going up the river, we got stalked by people we thought were bad. They were like hard up, stuff like that, and then I went sleepy. And the tiefling just shakes his head no.
What kind of skills you got, Thud?
Admittedly, not a whole lot out here. I'm mostly good with dirt.
That's fair.
That being said, would you be willing to share those stories of how you ended up in front of a crowd of people? Because we're trying to bring the one who is responsible for all this and for you ending up there in that cage to a form of justice.
The tiefling just looks over at you. I'll tell them that they took me in my sleep. Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, I want these bad people to go to jail if we can help it. Terrible, terrible folk. Well, I mean, jail might be a little easy on them. Maybe,
Slavery is not tolerated by pirates.
I have to ask, those cages, it seemed like you could hold more. Were there others?
Not since I was here, and I was the one here longest. Apparently, they weren't really satisfied with the price they were offered.
I see.
How much is in the last pouch?
I said 700 platinum.
Correct.
Which is, I believe,
700 platinum, 140 in one, 200 in the one I gave away, and there was one more, wasn't there?
400 for ship maintenance. 400 gold for ship maintenance was the second one.
Yeah.
Did you say there were 6 pouches?
I meant only 4.
Ah.
All right.
I was like, where are the other 2?
You'll never know. Mary has them. But
Oh, fuck.
Anything ethereal or invisible?
Mary has
about
never
you guys?
stolen anything from a party member.
No, there is not, Kuma.
You can disregard that first sentence. I started to write it.
No worries. However, who's on top of the deck? Willie and Jimmy?
Yeah, Will is on top.
Alrighty. Willie, you notice an incredibly large galleon?
Would it fit through?
No, is moving right in front of the exit.
Oh. Guys,
Oh.
or someone just there's a ship coming. Who controls water? Can we get rid of it? Or maybe I could plane shift it.
Does it look like the ship we rode in on?
No.
No, it does not. However, I assume you all run upstairs to look at it.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Dorzen, this is the Gypsy's Rest, which belongs to the Plank King.
Oh shit!
Oh wait, this could be good or bad for us.
This could be we just walked into a trap. I mean, they have it. That's the planking ship.
Well then.
You all
might be in
see
some
on
trouble.
top of the ship that 3 rowboats are being lowered. One, Dorzen, you have to restrain yourself from attacking immediately, as it holds Hendrix and his 2 remaining crewmen. The other one has a handful of pirates that look pretty tough. I mean, a lot tougher than the guys that you guys just all fought, by miles. And the last one has 2 individuals. The one who is rowing appears to be an elf woman, fairly tall. She has a very tight braid of blonde hair, keeping her hair in one form, wearing pirate's garb. And the other appears to be a very pale-skinned elven man, though very small. Only about 5'1", 5'2". No shirt. He is wielding a massive, ornate axe on his back. And the woman is currently rowing. Or, sorry, he's rowing for the woman.
I don't know if I can do it from this distance, but can I, when I look at that way, someone looks that way, can he kind of gauge which one of these people is the Plank King?
Roll an insight check.
Can I spend a bit of time looking at those 2, the 2 elves with my know your enemy? Observing
It'll
them?
take them at least a minute to row over here. Yeah.
Total class, armor, and hit points.
Very well. First off, Silren. The elven woman and the elven man are incredibly difficult to read. Like, you're trying to see anything about them, but everyone else here, they're certainly not the king. But those 2, the woman has a form of respect that you can tell is emanating from everybody else towards her, and the man almost seems ignored right now. Kuma, you can do this on one of them. Which one are you targeting?
The woman for the total class levels and current hit points. I'll know if there's.
It doesn't tell you. It tells you the total class level, if any.
If
Okay.
they're equal, superior, or inferior to me.
She is inferior to you. Her total class level is 12. Her armor class seems... She has a magic arcane shift around her to protect her, but not that obnoxious. Probably around, like, 15. And what was the last one?
Hit points, current hit points. if they are superior, inferior, or equal to my own.
Less than yours.
I think we could take at least some of them.
As they
To be
are
fair-
approaching, yeah.
I was just gonna say, to be fair, I think most people have inferior hit points to Kuma.
Not Willie, but
Before
Willie's not most people.
Yeah, that's true.
when they get closer, is the big axe you mentioned? That's not Glade's axe, right? That's just someone else's axe.
that's somebody else's.
Okay.
Glade's axe is the beheader. This is not the beheader. It's much more ostentatious than that.
Gotcha.
Glade's axe looks kind of crude.
Is it possible to roll like an insight as to what their sort of state seems like? Are they battle ready? Are they?
They're pirates. They're always battle ready.
Well, but yeah, does it seem like they're coming with the intent to assault us or something?
Go ahead and roll an insight. And who are you inciting?
Whoever's at the prow of the ship.
None
Or
of
is
they're all rowing on rowboats towards you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The other
Um,
ship, you see that there's about 40 crew on it right now. Large cannons positioned directly into this area, directly at all of you. And even with your passives, you can see clearly there are people at the ready with these cannons that are clearly loaded.
All right.
However, go ahead and roll your insight.
Yeah, I'll do it against the elven woman then.
Go for it. She seems to have a defensive demeanor.
Right.
So, as they get closer, within about 20 feet or so of the vessel, Hendrix shouts over, Plank King, they clearly came here to destroy my vessel or plant false evidence. We must attack them now. No, we must not. The individual looks up at you, Willie, after you wave, and they wave back.
They seem
Yeah, it's not like we could just attach all these metal cages to this hull
So
over
we'll,
the course of a couple hours.
Someone will look over the railing where the ships are, or the boats are now, like at the side of the ship, right?
They're
does
about
that-
30 feet away from it, but yeah.
They'll ask them, do you need assistance to get to board, or do you want us to lower a rope or something?
The one who was referred to as the Plank King looks up at you. Yes, please.
Sylvan will go ahead and take some of the rope from, Venturer's Kit stuff and lower it down the side for them to climb aboard.
So who was referred to as the Plank King?
The Elven Man, the small one. So before you get your own rope and throw it overboard, there are ladders, and you can throw those.
Oh, yeah, I'll do that then.
It's a galleon. They have those accessible all over. And after you do that, you see that the crew boat goes over first, and they start climbing up. And Hendrix is visibly sweating right now. And he seems to be looking at everybody other than Dorzen. Or no, he'll look at Dorzen. He has no idea who you are.
Yep. I'm back from the grave, bitch.
No,
After
he doesn't recognize you though.
Yeah. This is gonna be fun. After you all get on, the crew gets on top. The crew starts ushering you all back 30 feet from the where the ladder is. The Plank King crawls over the side of the ship, not using the ladder at all, and sits on top of the railing. His left leg up with his elbow leaning against it, and his right arm reaches for the axe and holds it facing down towards the ground in front of him. Despite how small he is, that big-ass axe he's wielding really easily.
If there's a minute, can I do know your enemy to him as well?
Sure,
For,
you can try to analyze him.
yeah, for total levels and strength score.
And the way this is, I'm supposed to answer you equal, superior, or inferior, right?
Correct.
Superior.
Okay.
You got a third one. Total level strength score, you got a third.
AC.
What's your AC?
22.
Equal.
Oh. And he's like wearing no shirt.
Yeah.
Just a nod of respect.
So, next, you see the bulbous individual climbing up, and they're a little thick. They look strong in their arms, but obviously, compared to the rest of your crew, I'm not going to consider them strong. Next, Hendrix climbs up, and then his first mate behind him, and then you watch as that elven woman just kind of floats up here and stands on the railing beside the Plank King. The Plank King looks at all of you. It seems like we're going to have our parley a little earlier. And I would like all of you to be aware of how this is going to run. I will ask the questions. You will answer them if I point at you. If I do not point at you, you do not answer them. If you are incapable of answering them, you will point to the individuals, multiple, who can. And I will choose one of them to answer them. Is this understood?
We have the people we freed from below up with us, right?
Yeah.
Everyone alive is on the deck of the
The
ship.
Genasi and the Furbolg are kind of like hiding towards the back. They get the air of like, oh fuck, this is bad. The Tiefling is just snarling directly at Hendrix. He seems to be more angry than he is scared. And the Plank King looks at you all. Please nod if you understand.
Nods.
Mr. King, you're not pointing at anybody.
Soren will kick Jimmy in the shin.
My apologies for not making it more clear to you. All of you, he gestures, nod if you understand. Hendrix seems to be analyzing the group, like very closely looking behind all of you.
Trying to figure out who's screwing him over.
Yeah.
Are any changer or concealed by illusion or magic or something?
Your magic eyes don't see the Plank King. The woman, however, she is concealing a lot of magical things on her person, and she seems to have 2 spells active right now.
Anything ethereal or invisible?
Yeah, like
Neither.
truth and all this other.
Yeah, you have all of that bullshit, but there are certain things, proof against detection, that can't allow that to happen.
Motherfuckers, this is so inciting.
Well, now that we all understand, let's begin the questioning. And that is where we are going to go on break, everybody. When we come back, we are going to hopefully find out exactly what consequences, or if any consequences, Hendrix has to suffer. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.